Hello, BookTube. We're continuing my 2022 library tour. I'm starting here in Little Book Room, and today, once again, I have ascended onto a step stool. This is a very, very bad idea. It's a deep, blood-curdling risk, but it's what I do for my imaginary BookTube friends. So we're at the top shelf of the next bookcase. This whole wall is individual thin, tall bookcases with they were custom made for me by a young friend of mine years ago. I love them, and I decided when I was rearranging this room to bring them all together, put them all in one place. They really like to live together. So we're at the top shelf here, and we have one transverse book. Pardon the teddy bear legs there. One transverse book is the art book by Faden, and this is a collection of full color artworks, one piece per artist, with the artists arranged in alphabetical order. So you don't know who you're going to get from one piece to the next. And I really found that really helps you to see the artwork. It's only when you look at an arrangement like this that you realize how much your eyes have been conditioned by museums and by normal art books to look at things grouped under periods or styles or movements, and this eradicates that completely. It's an amazing way to look at these works, but it's a failure of a book. I mean, this was designed so that you could give it as a keepsake to somebody or a little add-on gift. It was very popular in bookstores, very popular in library gift shops, museum gift shops. But there's a larger version of this. There's a hardcover version of this that is the way to look at this artwork. The arrangement, yes, is great. But the size of the thing and the binding is not. This is a clear case where I need to wait and just swap this thing out with a hardcover that I find at the Brattle Bookshop, but I haven't found one recently. Then we'll move on to the normal books, starting with this. Uh, this is the Iliad. This is Homer's Iliad. Only it's a version that exists nowhere else. It's a one-of-a-kind Iliad. It's this. It's a little thing that is a collection of collages. This is the Trojan War. F is for failure. This is the Trojan War done in collage form. B is for Briseis. This was this was done by my surly houseboy when he was a little newt. He made this for me and gave it to me, and it's of course my favorite version of the Iliad. And it's so it's here on the top shelf. Okay, then we have a block of one author. And that author is Stephen Jay Gould, the late Stephen Jay Gould, who wrote a column for Natural History magazine forever and ever, for decades. And it's really, really good. And he used to collect it regularly into volumes, a whole shelf of volumes. This is Hen's Teeth and Horse's Toes. Then we have The Flamingo's Smile. We have Bully for Brontosaurus. We have The Panda's Thumb, which I think, like a lot of people, was the volume that introduced me to Stephen Jay Gould and to Natural History magazine. And finally, we have Dinosaur in a Haystack, which is the only one of these things that is slightly bigger than the others. Dinosaur in a Haystack is a normal size, so they don't go well on the shelf. But more importantly, I have all of these things and more as ebooks on multiple devices. I also have them on a thumb drive, so there is no reason for me. I don't go back to these things enough for me to have half a shelf of hardcovers. Maybe Panda's Thumb and Hen's Teeth and Horse's Toes, but not the rest. So that's a little odd. That's a definite tinny note sounded by this particular shelf. Okay, this next book is something that we've seen already. This is the library book by Susan Orlean, which is this is a hardcover from the publisher. This came out. We would have seen this on this channel. Yes, it still has the sheet in it. This came out in October of 2018. Wow, October of 2018, and the whole back of it is her speaking engagements. Boy, 2020 really changed that, didn't it? This is a wonderful volume. The the story of a particular fire at a particular library and whether or not that case is accurate, whether or not the right person was put in jail for it. But it is also, it reaches out in concentric circles to be a love letter to all libraries. It's an amazing, amazing book. But, here, look at this. I'm running the risk of falling here, but we'll give it a try. I have the paperback of this, which we've already seen on this channel, which is also lovely and which has my blurb on the back. So I do not need this hardcover. There's no reason for there to be 2 copies of this in my collection, just in general, much less 2 copies in this room. This is just wasted space. I've noticed that I clipped out a bunch of pieces on libraries and on this book in particular. They should all go in that paperback. The paperback has my blurb. The hardcover does not. And if you're a working book reviewer, that's such a thrill that's the defining factor. Okay, then we have something, I don't know how collectible this is. I'm assuming it's not collectible at all, but this is great. It's a great book. Do I have an author on this? Mark Jones and Lance Parkin. This is Beyond the Final Frontier. This trade paperback that breaks down every episode of every incarnation of Star Trek prior to the destruction of the franchise by Alex Kurtzman. So it's all of the movies, it's all of the TV shows, and it's episode by episode. So you get the good bits, the bad bits, notable quotes, a lot of snark. They're broken down with a lot of snark. I revisit this thing so often. It's just a wonderful reference work to have for Star Trek. Okay, then we have Crime and Punishment. This is the Michael Katz translation with yours truly on the cover. Always a thrill when I am blurbed on a book, especially on a cover by name. That is kind of a mecca for working book reviewers. But this doesn't belong here. Because this is a rare instance in which I was blurbed on the hardcover dust jacket. I was on the back of the hardcover dust jacket. I'm on the front of the paperback. And this is the paperback that was in an HBO series for a fraction of a second, making me technically a movie star. But even though I have my name on the hardcover, my name is on the cover of the paperback, and I really enjoy that, but I have another copy. I have a bookcase. We're going to be getting to it. Of classics. I really shouldn't point like that. I'll just go right over the edge. I have a bookcase of classics, and there's a paperback of this on there with my blurb. So this is a double, and there's no justification for doubles in a room with so little shelf space. Oh God help us. Okay, all right. Well, all right. These next 2 things are really neat. They are really, really good. They are. This is The Marvels of Animal Behavior and Wild Animals of North America, both hardcover illustrated National Geographic volumes here in a box. So there's me and Deb on the one side, and then you have Wild America on the other. And that's a good example. These show you what you get in one of these National Geographic volumes, because you get great photography, but you also get original artwork. And I have this one here, Wild Animals of North America and the Marvels of Animal Behavior, but then I also have this one, a 2-volume box set of bird books, also from National Geographic. This is Water, Prey, and Game Birds of North America, and Song and Garden Birds of North America. And these are fantastic volumes, absolutely fantastic. They are, both of them are infinitely revisitable. So that's not the disappointing part. The problem here, this is a bad bookshelf. That's what this is. Wow, I'm just realizing this. This is a bad bookshelf. The problem with these 2 box sets isn't their content. It's that box sets don't need to be on shelves. Box sets are their own shelves. The shelves are designed to stop your books from flopping all over creation, and box sets can be furniture. They can be shelves of their own. They retain their shape, so they don't need to be here. They certainly don't need to be taking up shelf space. You could put them on the floor, neatly, even attractively. You could put them on the floor. I could make them a bookend on the flat top of a lower bookcase that doesn't have bookends. There's no reason for them to be here. And that is the theme of this shelf. These 2 box sets should absolutely not be taking up shelf space when they don't need it. The Crime and Punishment is an extra copy. My blurb on the front cover or not. Susan Orlean's book, I have the hardcover, but my paperback has my blurb on it. It's the copy that I want. The hardcover is lovely, but it's a double in a room that has no room for doubles. And all of these Stephen Jay Gould books I have and read on ebooks. There's no reason for me to have 5 of them taking up, and that means that the only thing that escapes destruction on this shelf is Beyond the Final Frontier and a homemade Iliad. That's virtually a whole shelf that could be cleared off in one motion. Okay, and also the art book, which I left out, which is a great book, but I don't want it in this form. I don't want it in paperback that's too delicate to read. So this shelf is a failure. This shelf is a perfect example of how badly this room needs a reorganization. So as soon as this library tour is done at the end of the summer, I will reorganize this completely. This shelf is a great example. I mean, look at all the stuff that could go. The box set shouldn't be here. Crime and Punishment and the library book are doubles. The art book is not the form that I want. The Stephen Jay Gould books are analog books taking up shelf space and needing organizing, hefting, boxing, and dusting when I have the ebooks on multiple devices and revisit them. So, all right, well, we'll hope that the next shelf is a little bit better behaved. And I'm really also hoping that the next shelf I can stand on the floor. Well, I'll try it out and see how it works, because I'm not really comfortable up on this step stool. But I will wrap this up for now, and I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.